When did you realize you needed to make a change, and what inspired that moment?
Yeah, so I remember like my life was going nowhere, right? Drinking almost every day. And it was never just like one or two. I mean, it wasn't always like a whole case. It wasn't always a whole bottle, but it was always more than I intended, and like, you know, more than needed, right? It was like a Tuesday afternoon, sitting on the couch with my 1-year-old daughter like this in my arm, while feeding her a bottle. I had my bottle in the other hand, drinking, right? And like, might sound cool, right? Like, good way to spend an afternoon, but I just felt like a degenerate. Like, this is not the guy that my mom and dad raised. Like, I can't even be a sober dad. Like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's not 10 o'clock at night out with the boys or at the bar, or like even on the couch by myself. Like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I can't even give my kid a bottle and take care of her without drinking. And that's when I just, like, that's the one thing that they talk about, like hitting your rock bottom or turning point. Like, I would say that was my like turning point. But I realized, like, I was, you know, going on that road, and I realized, like, I can't go on like this because nothing good's happening.
Right.
Like, it was just like there was no joy in my home, and like what was maybe like Christmas morning or whatever, it was like forced and short-lived and
January
like
1st, it's gone.
December 26th.
Yeah.
I can understand it. Yeah.
Well, so I think that point, that's what sticks out in my mind, where I realized I was like spiritually, morally bankrupt, and I just hated myself, and I wanted to die, and like my life was not worth living. And I realized that's nothing, you know, it's not like a lightning bolt hit me or anything. Like, I had that realization, like, this is not okay, and I don't like myself, and I need to change.
Yeah. I remember mine was, I think it was kind of like a lightning bolt. Mine was, I didn't even know what being sober was. I just knew that I was doing things that I was told I shouldn't do. You know, like you said about like the way we were raised. Like, we were raised good. Like, we didn't have shit parents. Like, everything was on the up and up growing up for the most part. But I remember being in prison, direct result of drinking and drugging. And I remember right before I got locked up, my brother was starting his business. And the whole time I was locked up, I was telling everybody, like, oh, I'm going to get out, and I'm going to run his company, and I'm going to work with him, and we're going to be business partners, and he just bought a Range Rover, I'm going to get one. And like, all these pipe dreams. Yeah. And one night I was laying there, a year before I was released, it was Halloween. I was laying there, and I was drinking. And I was laying there thinking, like, damn, man, I'm fucked up. And it was like in a pit, like a lightning bolt hit me. It was like, dude, you're in here for doing drugs. You're doing drugs in here. Yeah. Nothing is going to be different when you go home. You are going to do the same thing. And it was just like, all right, I need to change something. The obsession was lifted then. I didn't like jump into any recovery program. I didn't even know what the heck was going on. Like, I was around like recovery programs before I went away, but it was just like half measures everywhere. Like, just get people off my back. I won't go to the bar. I won't get high. But I just remember being like, holy crap, that makes so much sense. But to everybody else looking at me would have been like, yeah, dude, that makes no sense. And we knew that a long time ago.
What is something you can do now that you couldn't or wouldn't do before sobriety?
Ice bath. But not, I'm being kind of silly with it, right? But I think that's something that's very uncomfortable. Like, my brain tells you it's going to hurt me, right? But I just do it anyways and lean into it. Like, take cold showers. Like, I'm getting back into it now, but like last winter I was taking cold showers, right? Every morning. And like, now I'm starting to take cold showers, and I was getting cold out. Like, it's very uncomfortable. But like, when I do it, like, if I get up in the morning and take a cold shower, it's like me telling my body, like, we can go do some uncomfortable things, right, and we're gonna be okay. And like so I do a cold shower has a lot of like health benefits, anyways, right? Whatever it does for me, it gets like my blood's flowing, right? I'm ready to go. Like, a deep breath, I got a lot of oxygen in my body. I'm looking ready to go, dude. I'm ready to take on the world. You know what I mean? But it's leaning into something uncomfortable. Right. This is like a painful experience, but I know it's gonna make me better. And there's some things like that, like we talked about earlier. Like, so this is going more towards, I'll go like towards my family, right? So whether it's like one of my kids or whether it's my wife, like I was wrong, right? Or the way that I'm acting is wrong.
Right.
It could be like loading the dishwasher. Like for a while there, it was like, oh my gosh, like why doesn't my wife load the dishwasher? And then now it's like this morning I got up, it was late, ran out the door, and I'm like, dude, like I feel bad. I didn't load the dishwasher last night and I didn't do it now. Now she has to come down to this. Everything's changing and shifting. And now I'm like a productive member in the home. Like I do stuff. Like I could do laundry and I do dishes. It's like she wanted me present, wanted me there, wanted me to like see that the trash can is overflowing or see that the dishes need to be loaded. I want to escape pain and seek pleasure. What's the pleasure in loading the dishwasher? You know what I mean? But I so it's that self-awareness. I'm seeing the stuff and I'm like, it's all little stuff. Like loading a dishwasher is not like earth-shattering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's my whole, has like the self-image, confidence, and all that. Like I change as a person, and now like I'm becoming the man who can do the thing.
What are some milestones or achievements that you are particularly proud of?
Get the ball rolling, man.
Like the biggest reward in recovery is like you see guys that came in when you came in and you see they're still sober, or you see a new guy come in and he's a disaster, and your continued attendance to that area, like that meeting, you start to see them grow. Like that's the rewards for me. Like I don't really know if there's milestones. I don't set milestones. My day is today. You know what I mean? Like I don't count on tomorrow yet. I wake up and I'll try it again.
Hey.
So I don't. In business, we set goals. In sobriety, I don't. My only goal is to help another alcoholic and stay sober for 24 hours.
I don't think like any one thing comes to mind, but I know there's been times. It was like a bullshit job. All the self-doubt, all the self-hatred, all that stuff we talked about. And now I own a business. I got a couple employees, and I can like have people come in, give them like a day's work here and there, and like I've like view myself differently now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We viewed those people as gods when we first got sober.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, you got your own business?
Yeah, dude.
You're gonna hire me for the day? Like
yeah. But that's that like it's not like, you know, I got there. It wasn't like ding 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 and like a big like gold trophy popped up on the screen. I'm like, yeah, checkpoint now, dude. It was just like all these little realizations. Like, but the other part is like with my wife, like when she can tell me how she really feels and none of it's good. Like when I'm like wrong and she can tell me, and sometimes she'll like say it not so quietly and not so nicely, and I realize she feels comfortable yelling at me right now because she knows like I'm not gonna react, and I just sit there and listen and I accept it and I apologize and say, what can I do to move forward? I'm sorry I hurt you.
That's an achievement.
Yeah.
She knows the monster's not there anymore. You know what I mean? Like, right.
We couldn't do any of that drinking.
Nah, dude. Nah.
Drinking, everybody around us was like a church mouse. They didn't want to say anything because we're gonna fly out the handle and make a scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people can be themselves around us.
And I think you already said one of your achievements was being able to raise your other two kids without letting them see you have a drink. Not one.
Yeah,
That's a huge achievement.
I guess it is, yeah.
How do you maintain your sobriety day to day, and what are some of the non-negotiable habits or routines that are part of that?
Don't drink. I know it sounds haha funny, right? But
can't quit drinking.
yeah, no, it's really that simple. Like I don't drink, right? God removed the obsession, right? I go to AA, right, because like I'm still an alcoholic, and if I drink like one of anything, I'm off to the races. Like I've never had just one that I can remember.
Yeah.
You just don't drink. You can be the most selfish, self-centered person for 24 hours, and if you didn't drink, you're still sober.
Talking to meetings, like people are acting like they're wrong, You know what I mean? They're doing things that are not okay. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't drink. Like, you cheated on his wife and killed the neighbor's dog, but you didn't drink. You're a winner. I'm like, what the what?
Yeah.
No, that's not cool, right? But
Right.
for me, in sobriety, plenty of things I've done that I don't care to talk about right now. I'm not proud of, right? But I didn't drink, and I maintained my sobriety. But if I pick up a drink over it, or I start drinking, I don't know if I can get sober again.
Yeah, so that first drink that's what's non-negotiable. What do you do to guarantee you're going to stay sober for that day? Do you wake up in the morning and you pray? Do you do inventory at night? Do you always try to help another person throughout the day, whether they're drunk or not? Like, those are non-negotiables. If you're driving down the road and you see someone pulled over with a flat tire and they definitely look like they don't know what they're doing, like, that's a non-negotiable. Yeah. I'm sober. Anyone, anywhere reaches out for help. I'm pulling over and I'm backing down the shoulder to try to help this person. Not for any other reason than how can I make that person's day better than it is right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? No pat on the back. I don't want somebody that I know to drive by and see me and tell everybody else. I don't want none of that nonsense. Yeah. It's just I have to do those things for other people to take me out of myself, because it's real easy to be driving down the turnpike and see that person pulled over. And if I'm not doing those prayers in the morning, meditation, 10th step at night, and all that, if I'm not doing that stuff in my life, I'm going to blow right past that person and be like, that sucks to be you. Yeah. And that's not how I want to live. Like, God forbid I have my kid in the car. You know what I mean? Like, Dad, why don't you help that guy? It's like, screw him. Like, I don't want to be that person. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so those are non-negotiables. Like,
how has sobriety changed your relationship with family, friends, and loved ones?
Oh, wow. Actually, like you said, relations. Like, to have a relationship with people. Kind of like the weather outside. I don't know, it's probably chilly. I don't know if it's raining or not, but it's the weather outside. It's outside, right? And that's what these people were, right? Like my wife, my kids, in-laws, family, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that I'm selfish. I don't know that I'm self-centered.
Right.
But I work a program and I do something that's structured to kind of like hold a mirror up to myself so I can really take a good hard look at myself. I start to take inventory of myself and my actions and my fears, and I realize that I'm just a scared, hurt child inside of a man's body. What am I going to do about that? It's like active alcoholism, and then like early recovery, and then even maybe now, I felt like my wife tolerated me, like at best. I just felt tolerated. Yeah. You know what I mean? Today I feel loved. Like I feel like loved and adored and like needed and wanted. Like, so it's cool. So my three youngest kids, the one was like a year old when I got sober, and then the two youngest never saw me drink. But like, I get to like be their dad. I feel like I'm more aware of the fact that that I'm loved and like people want me in their lives.
I think the best part for me with my relationships with anybody, my family, or even my wife, or you, or anybody, like anybody in my life, I don't walk away either happy that I got over on you or pissed off that you didn't give me what I wanted. I learned that I can have a conversation with somebody that isn't like centered around me manipulating the conversation to get what I want. You know what I mean? Like, I can just have a conversation, or I can just talk to somebody, or I can just have my own opinion. And it's like you said, you feel worthless. So for me, my opinion never mattered because I was such a degenerate. Like, no, you don't want to hear what I have to say, or no, I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Like, zero self-confidence. And I think being sober and like just kind of proving to myself and to my surroundings that this isn't just like a thing I'm going through. Like, this is my way of life today.
Right.
I'm able to build those relationships that last, and I'm able to have an impact on people around me that's a positive impact. It's not like, oh shoot, here comes Ned, let me cross the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yo, Ned, and it's like, it feels really good. It feels makes you feel accomplished in it, and that's what keeps me striving to keep doing what I'm doing, and to grow even farther than where we are.
Yeah, but it also shows in how you guys carry yourself, both of you, right? Because when you're so negative on the inside and you're so like down on yourself, you show the world that like, I am worthless. I don't deserve to be appreciated. Yeah. And now that you are your authentic self, you feel like, like, yeah, I am. Like, thanks for looking out. Like, thanks for seeing me.
Right.
You see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It It
You
shows.
did good.
Yeah.
It's back to the giver, not a taker. Like,
Yeah.
I was always
Exactly.
a taker. And when you know you're a taker, you got that like crappy feeling like,
Yeah. Especially for someone who's a giver.
Thank you very much for sharing your journey. And with God's guidance, I hope you get another day.
Yeah.
moment of silence for those still sick and suffering. God,
God,
grant
grant
us
us the serenity
to
to accept the things that cannot change, courage to change the things that can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God's will, not ours, be done.